What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Part-Time Nerd Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Alan, and joining me today is Mr. Rapid Dave. How are you doing, buddy?
Fantastic. How are you doing?
You know what? I'm just living the dream, man. Just living the dream. So, Part 5, Obi-Wan Kenobi, came out this morning. You find out, you get some information in this one. Like, there was definitely a lot of speculation around the third sister and how she knew who Vader was, that he was Anakin, and you found all that out today, right?
Mhm.
All of the speculation was kind of true. She was there at Order 66 at the temple when Anakin was just mowing through younglings. But we'll get into that here in a second. What are some of your thoughts of this episode?
You got Vader in it. You got a lot of Obi-Wan. It's actually like the show. You got the main character that's in it most of the time. I thought it was a really good episode, to be honest. Really enjoyed it, and I love that they go back. There's a training session with Obi-Wan and Anakin, and it's they're dueling, just a little training, a little lightsaber training, and you start to see this, his aggressiveness for obviously Anakin. You start to see his need to win, his need to always be victorious and whatnot. And I thought that was phenomenal. And you do get a lot of Vader in this, you get a lot of Obi-Wan, and I really did. I was like, this one to me, I think was the best by far. Now, I have a couple hiccups, and it always throws me back to I think a Family Guy when they did when they did Blue Harvest or whatever it's called, and then Stormtrooper's like, oh, this armor's useless. Why do we even wear it? And it's true. It's like, right. So if they get shot in like a knee, they fall down and die immediately, right? If a rebel or someone like that gets shot in the gut or the heart, they can hold on for another 10 minutes in slow-mo. You know what I mean? That's my only...
Well, they got a little bit more will to live as opposed to the stormtroopers. What are they fighting for? They're fighting for a paycheck, right? The rebels are fighting for freedom and all that. So you got that will to live.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Tala. That one got me. I was like, no, not Tala.
Not Tala. And then I was like, is she just gonna die or what? Or she just will do super slow-mo or whatnot? And she could have took out a lot more people if she wasn't in slow motion.
Or maybe if she just threw it towards them instead of just holding it. Like,
it looks like it was a button, and then as soon as she hit the button, it went off. So it wasn't like a normal grenade that you can just chunk or something. But I don't know. But yeah, so R.I.P. It happens, man. I wish she would have stuck around a little bit longer, but I thought she was going to die last episode. She's still alive, and I thought, I liked her character. I really did.
Yeah, same here. I thought Tala was great. So the episode, it starts off with that flashback. You get that little bit of a tease, and then it goes into the episode. You're like, okay, well, I'm just getting teased. But they keep bringing that flashback in throughout the episode, intertwining it with what's going on. You've got the standoff between Vader and Obi-Wan, and you can see how they're maybe they're both having this kind of shared memory, this shared thought of, okay, I know I've got him, I know I've got this, and they're kind of playing it all the way through everything with the flashback. I'll tell you what scene I really enjoyed was Vader's duel with Tala. Like, I not Tala, Reva, third sister, or at this point in time, the Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah, she gets promoted.
She gets promoted at the very beginning.
Previous one, and but I'm with you on that. It really shows Vader how much power he has and whatnot. He's just he doesn't even pull out his own lightsaber. He doesn't even pull it out of the holster. He keeps it in there. He's just messing with it the whole time. Ends up just moving her around, throwing her around, and finally snaps her lightsaber in half, chunking her back and throwing her one for her to come out. And she's no match for Anakin or Vader. You know what I mean? There's no way. And so she just loses miserably. And somehow she got a saber right to the gut. And she's able to hold on for quite a bit of time, crawls around, finds like a love letter from Jimmy Smits, I mean, it has some important information. It's amazing. She found it, and she had the will to crawl over to it. And then, because she wanted to know. I know, right? It's like, oh my God. But yeah, so Obi-Wan goes, and he actually tries, like, when she finds out where they're at, Obi-Wan is like, I want to talk to her. They have a moment, he's like, they're having a nice little conversation, but yeah, you're talking about how she's like a youngling right there, and Anakin comes in. For some reason in the memory, she's standing right there looking at him, but he doesn't mow her down for some reason.
Well, maybe she
And
got wounded or something like that. And like she said, it's all going down. She can't do anything to stop it. She crawled underneath the dead bodies and just felt them go cold around her.
yeah,
Right? It's just
maybe
very
she's a robot
traumatizing.
in the belly. Maybe she's a robot in the belly. So she's just got to, it takes a little bit out of her. Now they're just going to zap her up and get her back to whatever. Yeah, she's obviously going to. She tries to kill Vader. That ain't happening. You know what I mean? And so she's done with that whole Inquisitor job. She just got laid off. Fired
Well,
right on the spot.
and you've got, I mean, there's so much we're kind of glossing over with this, right? Because you've got Obi-Wan and the third sister, their Grand Inquisitor at this point, that they're having the conversation. He's like, look, there's children in here, there's families in here. You don't want to do this. He's like, let me help you take on Vader. I know that's what you're doing.
Help you.
Help me help you, right? And he's like, you can't do it yourself. She's like, you have no idea what I'm capable of doing on my own. And then she's like, well, how do you know this is going to work? And Obi-Wan's like, because all he's going to see is me. That's it. And for a split second, you think, okay. Now, obviously, we know she doesn't kill him, right? Spoiler alert,
Spoiler alert, episode 4 is a real thing.
But you get that moment where she kind of feels like she's getting it, and then Vader does the whole. It reminded me a lot of like old kung fu movies when you had the one guy that was just completely superior to everybody, just kind of toying with them and everything like that. It reminded me a lot of that when they're going back and forth. But and then you get the revelation that the Grand Inquisitor, he's actually not dead. Well, you got to factor in, right? They're force wielders, right? So you can kind of we've seen it in other Star Wars things where if you get blown in, you can hold yourself together with the Force, right? You take your focus on that, and a gut wound isn't necessarily going to instantly kill you. Like if you want to instantly kill someone, go for the heart, okay?
I just wish someone told Qui-Gon about this. Like they left this pertinent bit of information out of like Qui-Gon's training. You know what I mean? Like they just didn't. That was like a day he didn't show up that day. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna go watch a movie or go screw around, throw some dice or something, and he just missed that day. Otherwise, we'd have Qui-Gon. Give me more Qui-Gon. But yeah, he got. I mean, he didn't know how to do it, and neither did Obi-Wan back then either. So, R.I.P.
Well, Obi-Wan went down on his own, right? Like he wasn't trying to not die at that point, right? he just straight up disappeared,
Yeah.
But yeah, you're getting some more of that. You find out that she finds out that there's a boy on Tatooine. You don't really know what's going on. Obi-Wan's got the sense that something's wrong. He doesn't know what's going on, but he knows something is wrong. You get Haja comes back.
He shows up. He babysits Leia for a little bit.
I mean, he's not really babysitting. He's just kind of keeping an eye on her. Like she kind of takes care of herself, right?
I need less speaking parts from her.
Oh.
She can just nod at this point. I don't need to hear her at all. Like,
but you find out Vader knows a lot more than what he lets on the know, right? He knows about Reva. He knows what her plan is, all that stuff. I mean, all in all, it was a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. This is going to lead into, the last part. This is going to be Obi-Wan returning Leia to, Bail Organa. Of course, the Empire's right behind them, right? Their warp drives are out. They're right behind them. We'll see how they get out of that. We still haven't seen Ice Cube yet. He's listed as having a part in this. So does he show up this next episode?
One more episode, right? That's it.
Right. Well, and then it's been confirmed we're getting a season 2. With the way that they filmed it, they kind of filmed it like a couple different ways where you'll have closure at the end of this, or kind of open-ended to lead to a part 2. And I think that's what you kind of get with that Reva finding out about a boy on Tatooine. So now it's going to be kind of her, because you see in this episode she has a lot of resentment towards Obi-Wan because he wasn't there.
Where were you?
He wasn't there to stop Anakin. She's like, he was your Padawan. Why didn't you stop this? So she has a lot of resentment and hate towards him. So maybe season 2's her going after him. She has no qualms with going after, kids that she kidnapped Leia during this one. So we'll see what season 2 is actually going to be about. But I'm happy and sad. Like, I'm looking forward to next week's episode, but I'm sad it's the last episode of the season. So
I'm kind of glad, it's just been the whole series has been about Leia. You know what I mean? Like getting Leia, that, and luckily you have these pieces where you get a lot of Vader and you get a lot of Obi-Wan, and then, their communication and then some flashbacks and things like that. But ultimately it's been like the first 3 or 4 episodes wasn't a lot going on. You know what I mean? Like, your favorite parts of those episodes are when Vader shows up. And it's just been a little lackluster for me. And you can definitely tell that the Star Wars fans are like, they're divided on this show, because they were like, if they're only going to give us one season and this is the season they're going to do. And of course you have the defenders that call, anybody that says anything negative about a show or about anything is a hater. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, you can't have an opinion. You got to just love it blindly.
You're more than welcome to have your opinion. You're more than welcome to hate it, like it, whatever.
Yeah.
I myself have enjoyed it. I really like what I've gotten from this. I like seeing a broken and beaten Obi-Wan who's completely removed himself from the Force, but then having to kind of go back and bring that Force back and rely on it, and just really learn that maybe he was kind of a little bit wrong with what he's been doing, right? By not trying to help others, by
He's
just
doing what Yoda told him. Yoda said, go into hiding. And that's exactly what Yoda did. He went into hiding as well. And they just said, just hide yourself. And here's a shocking guess at next season. The same thing, but now Luke. She's going to go kidnap Luke, and like the whole effing time, Obi-Wan's guy. You say that now. You say it now. And I swear to God, that's what they're setting it up as. I'm like, don't do it. Don't you do it. Don't do it. But yeah, at the end, you get that raw Vader power. They take the ship tries to take off. He just yanks the damn thing down, rips it open, but then the other ship jets out of there or whatever as a distraction. And give me more of that. Give me just wild ass Vader.
Yeah, I'm 100% in on that. Like, let's get a Vader series where he's going through and hunting down all these, because that's the thing that he did right off the bat, was going and hunting down all these Jedi and killing them and things like that. Give me something like that. I'm definitely all in on that, but I'm also in on just more Star Wars, whatever. Just give me more Star Wars, right?
I just don't want it to suck.
What? Shut up.
I just don't want it to suck. If it's good, like I said, this episode was good. This was probably the best one yet, because the other ones have just, there's a pattern that they seem to be following on every one of these shows that they put out. So it's like, okay, well, this one should be great. I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go, but looking forward to it. I assume that, obviously Leia gets back to Jimmy Smits and family. I don't even know his name. Bail. It's Bail, right?
Bail Organa.
I'm just going to keep calling him Jimmy. That's his name going forward for me. I'm not even going to recognize that name.
But I mean, it's good. You're getting more Star Wars. While yes, we've gotten a ton around the Skywalker saga and things like that, we are going to be getting some stuff outside of that, right? Takiti Wafidi, or however you say his name, he's creating his own. I think he's getting a whole trilogy, and it's not going to be based in this Skywalker time frame and things like that. And I mean, everything that guy has done has been great. I've enjoyed everything that he's done, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. But I'm really enjoying Obi-Wan. I'm enjoying getting more Kenobi. I've enjoyed young Leia. I've enjoyed Vader, the Inquisitors, all of that stuff. I'm ready for more. I mean, you can't do too much Star Wars as far as I'm concerned. It's a good time to be a Star Wars fan. Just saying. So, you got anything else on this one, Chief?
Nah. It was fine. It was good. It was a good episode.
All right, man. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, like, share, comment, follow, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Is there anything you want us to watch? Shoot us over an email, parttimenerdpodcast@gmail.com. I'll talk to you guys later.